Welcome to Limitless Travel. Today's episode, Best Places to Celebrate New Year's Eve in Europe. With a tough year coming to an end, we can't help but hope for a better and brighter future. Of course, the transition to another year wouldn't be complete without celebrating New Year's Eve. We deserve to eat good food, reunite with family and relatives, party with friends, and have the best New Year countdown. After all, New Year's Eve is one of the most widely celebrated holidays in the world. New Year's Eve is a big night. Simply walking through the streets can feel like a party with fireworks and champagne flowing through the streets. In case you want more than that, this guide will help you sort out where you should be sipping your champagne. Here are our top 10 best places to celebrate New Year's Eve in Europe. Number 10. New Year's Eve in Edinburgh is one of the best times to visit Scotland's capital. It's a top destination for celebrating the end of December and the start of January. Combine the nation's famous hospitality with historic traditions, and you get Hogmanay, a uniquely Scottish take on the typical New Year celebration that you just have to experience to believe. Hogmanay is the Scottish word for the last day of the year or New Year's Eve, and is generally regarded as the most important Scottish holiday. Edinburgh's Hogmanay Festival dates back to 1993 and has evolved to become one of the greatest outdoor celebrations of New Year's Eve in the world. Hogmanay is technically just one day, but the Hogmanay celebration in Edinburgh lasts for about 3 days. In any normal year, the big events include a torchlight procession and other entertainment on December 30th, a massive outdoor street party, concerts, and fireworks on December 31st, and then the Looney Duke and smaller public entertainment options on January 1st. Some events may also take place on January 2nd, which is a public holiday in Scotland. Highlighted as one of the top 100 things to do before you die, and recently the only festival to appear in the Discovery Channel Top 25 World Travel Experiences, Edinburgh's Hogmanay Street Party is one of the world's greatest New Year celebrations. As the bells strike midnight, join hands with friends from across the globe in the world's biggest rendition of Auld Lang Syne. Spend the first day of the new year in Scotland leaping into the freezing waters of the River Forth, or take a January journey through Edinburgh discovering its fantastic cultural heritage. Number 9. New Year's Eve in Lisbon goes by a lot of different names, but one thing's for certain. Lisbon is definitely a fun place to ring in the new year. There are a few different ways to celebrate New Year's Eve in Lisbon, and it depends on what your priority is. Some people like to have a lengthy dinner that takes place over several hours, pausing at midnight to ring in the new year. Others prefer to be in the heart of the action, and so they make sure they are at Praça do Comércio or Belém to enjoy the live music and fireworks. New Year's Eve just wouldn't be the same without fireworks, and there are several places to watch the different displays in Lisbon. The biggest and most popular party and fireworks display happens at Praça do, which is the big square in the center of Lisbon. Entry is free, and there's live music from around 10 p.m. The artists are usually Portuguese bands and singers, so you won't know who they are, but does that really matter? As midnight approaches, everyone starts getting their bottles of espumante and plastic cups ready, and then the big countdown happens. Number 8. Poland's city of Gdansk offers visitors a wealth of cultural experiences, from architecture to museums, shopping for amber to partying, especially useful over the New Year's Eve period. Take a walk along Ulica Luga and marvel at the buildings and shops surrounding you as you make your way to the Market Długi Targ. This is a great place to stop for a bite to eat at one of the cafes or restaurants. Jump on the Amber Skywheel for some wonderful views over Gdansk, or if you like to be a bit more active, climb the 405 steps up to the top of St. Mary Cathedral for more breathtaking views of the city. If you find yourself in Gdansk on the 31st of December, then Długi Targ and Targ Węglowy is where most people will gather to watch the fireworks light up the sky. It will be crowded as people take to the streets to welcome in the new year. If you are closer to Sopot, follow the crowds to the beach and pier for the fireworks. Remember your vodka or champagne to toast the new year. Number 7. Kitzbühel is a beautiful medieval town and ski resort in Tyrol, Austria, located 100 kilometers east of Innsbruck. It offers winter guests 168 kilometers of slopes, 40 kilometers of cross-country tracks, and is a favorite with celebrities, especially around the time of the Hahnenkamm races in January. It is here that you will see the most famous ski run in the world, the Strife. All in all, Kitzbühel is a skier's dream come true. Kitzbühel is known for its glitz and elite clientele, and unlike many other resorts, their big celebrations take place on the 1st of January. There is a spectacular display from the ski instructors, which include daring fire jumps. There is live music, torchlit parade, and some magnificent fireworks to make your New Year a memorable one. Most locals head to the bottom of the Hahnenkamm slope, drinking Glühwein, singing and celebrating while waiting for the fireworks. This attracts tens of thousands of visitors, so it's really important to get there in plenty of time. It's going to be busy. Be it on the mountain, in a cozy lodge, together with friends or loved ones, the turn of the year is always a special highlight. The numerous events in the holiday region Hoselv make it possible to kick off the new year in style and to fill the first day of the year with wonderful activities. On the 31st of December at midnight sharp, the skies above the townships of the region will light up in the most fabulous colors. The many multi-colored rockets shine brightly above the alpine world and make for an unforgettable sight, especially in the snow-covered scenery. On the 1st of January, there is also a highlight around the Hoselv, the New Year's Market, and the New Year's Magic in Inter, which you can visit. Be there when colorful lights light up the night with musical accompaniment in Hofgarten and Kirchbüchel. Number 6. Stockholm is a great place to spend your New Year's Eve, with a spectacular fireworks display capping off a night of celebrations throughout this picturesque Scandinavian harbor city. Stockholm is a beautiful city to visit any time of year, but come winter and the New Year's Eve period, it looks like something right out of a fairy tale, especially when covered in snow. It offers visitors an array of activities including skiing, ice skating, a chance to marvel at the most beautiful sunsets, visit the Christmas markets, museums and palaces, and don't forget to try some of the glögg. The relatively flat landscape of Stockholm makes watching the fireworks pretty easy from a variety of different places. Those in the Södermalm area can watch the fireworks from Skepashalmen, then venture into the bars and clubs on Götgaden. You could always just grab your bottle of champagne and wander to the waterfront area, or if you are near to the Skansdalsbrinn or Vasterbrinn bridges, these are great places to stop and watch the fireworks. For a more panoramic view of the city and to see all the firework displays, many people opt for Fjällgaten or Skinnarviksberget. Visit Skansen, where the official countdown is held. There's music and speeches before the grand fireworks display at midnight. This is a very popular area to gather, and it is televised for the rest of Sweden to see. Number 5. It's gearing up to be a great new year, and Portugal's Madeira Island is a gorgeous destination should you be looking for a winter getaway. Funchal especially does not do the festive season half-heartedly, with the streets strung with Christmas lights and festive music playing, all culminating in the extraordinary pyrotechnics and visual effects that make up the big display on New Year's Eve. There is much to do here, including hiking, sailing, canyoning, scuba diving, levadas walking in the mountains, golf, whale and dolphin watching, markets and museums. So if it's adventure or relaxation you are looking for, Madeira will have you covered. For some great views, jump on the Funchal cable car. The trip up to Monte take about 15 minutes. While you are up there, you can go and wander through Monte Palace Tropical Gardens. Pretty much everyone will be gathering in Funchal, Madeira Island, famed for its New Year's Eve fireworks display, which will be around 8 minutes long. Back in 2006, it was in the Guinness Book of Records as the great set fireworks show in the world. For the best views, try and position yourself in and around the marina area or book yourself onto one of the boat or catamaran trips for an extra special view of the fireworks with the city in the background. You can also venture to Santa Catarina Park or the football ground for a good vantage point, although the amphitheater-style shape of Funchal does mean that good views can be had pretty much anywhere close to the water. One thing is for certain. If you are in Madeira, you will not want to miss the fireworks. It's epic. Number 4. Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic, enjoys a hard-won reputation as a party city, and crowds flock from across Europe to enjoy their New Year's Eve party. As with most European capitals, the centerpiece of the event is the midnight fireworks display, where Prague Castle provides an impressive backdrop, while popular viewing points for the countdown include the Charles Bridge, overlooking the River Vltava. Top New Year's Eve events in Prague tend to center around seeing the fireworks, so when midnight arrives, competition for the best vantage points can be pretty fierce. Most people try to head for anywhere on or overlooking the river, which generally means near the central Charles Bridge, Prague Castle, or on Petrin Hill. Prague is a little unusual in that the main official fireworks display is actually on New Year's Day, usually around 6 p.m., with the fireworks launched from barges on the river around Letna Park. This is a much more family-friendly option than the somewhat random nature of the New Year's Eve displays, which can get a little crazy. The best views are from the bridges over the river, especially the Charles Bridge and the Manes Bridge. I would recommend heading down there to get the best view. They all get pretty crowded, especially the Charles Bridge, so get down early to get a decent spot. Number 3. Berlin on New Year's Eve is probably best known for the spectacular midnight fireworks display over the iconic Brandenburg Gate, but in recent years is also becoming almost as well known for the great range of live music in the city on New Year's, with the EDM genre proving especially popular. The focal point of the celebrations is the famous and iconic Brandenburg Gate, which stands sentinel over the architecturally dramatic city center and uses this position of prominence well in holding the main midnight fireworks display. The official New Year's Eve party in Berlin is a free event that takes place along the city's famous Tiergarten on the Strasse des 17 Juni between Brandenburger Tor and Siegessäule, running from the Brandenburg Gate to the Victory Column. There is live music, spectacular light shows, and a range of entertainment throughout the evening, culminating in the fantastic midnight fireworks. Over 1 million people typically attend, so make sure you get there nice and early, especially as they tend to shut the gates once the area is full. So make sure you don't miss out completely. Number 2. It's always going to be high on the agenda for iconic location for New Year's Eve. London's New Year's Eve party is typically centered on the midnight fireworks display over the River Thames, viewable for miles around, and with the most prestigious vantage points along the river's banks sold to ticket holders on a first-come, first-served basis. The fireworks usually last around 11 minutes and take place on the Thames around the London Eye. Anywhere along the river should afford you a pretty decent view. The arrival of midnight is also welcomed with the traditional rendition of Auld Lang Syne by the crowds gathered along the banks of the Thames. There are also decent fireworks views to be had from the South Bank Centre, where they also hold a big New Year party at 12th Knot, while the Natural History Museum usually hosts a popular New Year event. If you prefer not to pay, or indeed endure the crowds, you can also watch London New Year's Eve fireworks display from a variety of land-based vantage points. Watch the free fireworks from Westminster Bridge and Victoria Embankment, Greenwich Hill, Primrose Hill, Parliament Hill on Hampstead Heath, or one of the several hugely popular London rooftop bars. Number 1. It's one of those bucket list moments, Paris on New Year's Eve, which sees huge crowds head down to gather on the city's iconic Champs-Élysées for a New Year party on a grand scale, with the highlight of the party being the spectacular light show and fireworks launched from the Eiffel Tower, a fitting centerpiece to the celebrations. Across the whole Paris area, there are a vast range of parties and events taking place to mark the occasion, with world-famous sites such as the famous Moulin Rouge hosting their own New Year's Eve surprises, while many choose to take to the Seine to see in the New Year 2023 with a river cruise. The fireworks at the Eiffel Tower that were a central part of the New Year's Eve celebrations in Paris for so many years have now been replaced by a light show, a more ecologically friendly alternative. Although don't be surprised if they throw in a few good old-fashioned pyrotechnics as part of the display too. To celebrate New Year's Eve, the city of Paris is hosting a video morphing show. From 11:30 p.m. to 11:50 p.m., a special video show will be projected onto the Arc de Triomphe, followed by a spectacular countdown. Over 100,000 people meet on the most beautiful avenue in the world. At the Eiffel Tower, there is usually a light show every hour throughout the evening, which increases your odds of seeing it considerably. What is your best place to celebrate New Year's Eve? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching Limitless Travel, and don't forget to like and subscribe.